From first kisses to YouTube makeup tutorials, Wednesday Addams is in many ways your average American teen, but she hasn't let go of her ghoulish side either. Most people think Wednesday Addams was born on screen, but her debut came long before the 60s sitcom The Addams Family. Like many popular characters, she got her start in a comic strip penned by American cartoonist Charles Addams. His woeful tales first appeared in The New Yorker in 1938. Addams also created work that wasn't all doom and gloom, but like Edgar Allan Poe, that's all that people seem to remember him for. Naming his creepiest characters after himself certainly didn't help matters. It also didn't help that according to NPR, his idea of a good time consisted of telling his friends he visited insane asylums for fun and offered to drive friends home, only to seek out routes that passed dozens of cemeteries. Wednesday Addams may have existed long before she appeared on TV, but when she meandered on her comic strip with the rest of her family, she was actually nameless. According to a letter to the editor posted in The New Yorker, Joan Blake, mother in a custody dispute, gave Addams inspiration for Wednesday's name. When Addams voiced his concern about not having a name for the comic strip daughter as he went into a TV show deal, Blake recited the line of an old nursery rhyme, Wednesday. Wednesday's child is full of woe. The cutesy rhyme is a fun adage meant to determine what a child will be like depending on the day of the week they are born. Funnily enough, Wednesday's middle name is Friday in the sitcom, but despite her morbid tendencies, she's still pretty loving and giving, so it still tracks. It's pretty tricky to make a 6-year-old seem intimidating without going the full-on demonic route, and the 60s Addams Family sitcom faced that very issue. Sure, a young Lisa Loring was quite capable of a fearless glower, but it usually prompted awes rather than gasps. Even her darkest lines don't seem so menacing out of the mouth of the adorably braided child.
Nice knife. Can I play autopsy with it?
As a whole, Loring's Wednesday is kind-hearted and quick to help her family with any task that needs doing, even something as mundane as fetching the mail.
Thank you, Faith.
But while the 60s series slightly muted her angsty personality from the comics, the 90s films starring Christina Ricci brought her back to her darker persona and aged her up a bit from the 6-year-old she was at the beginning of the show. From then on, she and Pugsley have flip-flopped between being the older sibling in multiple projects the fictional Addams Family starred in. Everyone wants a piece of Wednesday Addams' dishonor, including none other than the super sleuth pup, Scooby-Doo. Wednesday appears in the episode Wednesday is Missing of the confusingly titled TV series The New Scooby-Doo Movies. The episode, only the third in the series, serves as the backdoor pilot to the 1973 animated Addams Family series. When Morticia and Gomez Addams are looking for some us time, the Scooby Gang are hoodwinked into playing housekeepers for the wayward Addams children after the mystery machine goes missing. Wednesday uncharacteristically wears a pink version of her usual collared dress. However, she's still quick to get a voodoo boo-boo while she sticks needles in a voodoo doll, so she definitely hasn't lost her spooky streak beneath the smiles and the pink. Even her parents are disappointed with her peppy demeanor, forlornly remarking that she's growing up to be a sweet, cheerful young lady. The horrors. One of the most hotly debated aspects of child stars is kissing scenes that happen too soon for young actors. Whether it's in modern films and TV shows, or those of decades past, the concept of children kissing will always garner a spirited discussion. Where should we draw the line? At just 13 years old, Ricci had her first on-screen kiss with future Numbers star David Krumholtz, who was only 2 years older. The Addams Family Values scene marked the latter actor's first on-screen kiss as well. In a 1993 interview, Ricci was asked if there was a big to-do made about the kiss. She brushed it off, saying, "No, there was no real big deal about it because, I mean, when you think about it, there's so much of that, you know? In movies and everything, and it's just a movie." In a way, it's a little sad that Ricci had to grow up quite so fast and in the limelight. While she may have told the interviewer that it was no big deal, Krumholtz told BuzzFeed for the film's 20th anniversary that Ricci was less than thrilled with her scene partner's peach fuzz. He noted, "That made me really self-conscious." Most child stars have done anything humanly possible to distance themselves from their most iconic role, but Christina Ricci has other ideas. She told the AV Club that the Addams Family films have had the biggest impact on her career and life. She remains fully aware of the role that defined her career and still feels a kinship toward her darker alter ego.
I just got to do a lot of weird things that, normally I wouldn't get to do.
Ricci told the AV Club, I feel very inextricably bound to Wednesday. We'll probably never know just how much the role shaped Ricci as a person, but she certainly defied the tragic fate of many child stars. So maybe Wednesday's resilience and strength played a part in Ricci's transition from a child star to a successful adult actress. She posed this question to the AV Club. It's like a chicken or egg debate. Did I influence her as a character, or did she, as a character, influence my personality? In a sobering follow-up thought, Ricci noted, the way memory works in childhood, it all blurs. So I don't have a sense of who I was or what I felt like before I was an actress, essentially. So in a way, she and Wednesday are permanently intertwined, for better or for worse. If you thought young Wednesday Addams is a mood, she has nothing on comedian Melissa Hunter's adult Wednesday Addams miniseries. We first got a glimpse at Wednesday's enlightened social views in Addams Family Values when she ranted during her camp's Thanksgiving skit, which glorified the peace the Pilgrims extend to the Native Americans. Hunter took the social commentary 10 steps further with her ultra-feminist rendition of adult Wednesday, as she tried to reconcile her gloomy yet woke disposition amid the superficiality she faced in LA, between savagely getting even with a handful of catcallers and showing an entitled It Girl Who's Boss. The show's 13 episodes weren't nearly enough.
You want a book deal, but you can't afford the ghostwriter. So now you just post duck-face selfies with your green juice every morning.
Sadly, according to the Daily Dot, the T. and Charles Addams Foundation wasn't as charmed as the show's millions of viewers, slapping a lawsuit on the young comedian and her low-budget passion project. After a copyright cease and desist forced Hunter to take the series down in 2015, rumors floated around that the foundation took action due to a planned MGM animated movie. It took years for the film to happen, but that very well could have been why the foundation robbed us of a dry, witty, and woke Wednesday Addams. Let's face it, we all have those days where we feel like channeling our inner angsty Wednesday Addams. Luckily, for those looking to get her pallid complexion just right, MGM released a YouTube video called Wednesday's Late Night Makeup Tutorial. The video is perfect for anyone whose real-life eyeshadows aren't quite dark enough. And don't worry, as Wednesday notes in the video,
guaranteed to make you look like you haven't slept in years.
The video served to promote the release of the 2019 animated film, The Addams Family. Wednesday takes viewers through her arsenal of makeup by brands like CoverGhoul's Depressed Powder, Dry Ensemble Lip Chalk, and the very exclusive ashes of her ancestors. MGM also produced a video on how to make Wednesday's Halloween lemonade, and she wasn't the only Addams character to get some animated YouTube love. There were even some Morticia, Gomez, and Grandma tutorials to make your Halloween, or a random Wednesday afternoon, extra spooky. A Tim Burton-led Addams Family project has been a long time coming, since the 90s to be exact. People usually assume that the macabre director has helmed at least one of the Addams Family iterations that have graced the screen in the past few decades. But sadly, that's not the case. According to Film Stories, Burton even turned down the offer to direct the 1991 film, with the honor eventually going to Barry Sonnenfeld. Even the 2019 animated film seemed like a Burton project, though Greg Tiernan and Conrad Vernon directed the film. As it turns out, the third time's the charm, and Burton is finally lending his dismal expertise to the dastardly family in a live-action Netflix series simply titled Wednesday. The series, of course, focuses on everyone's favorite angst queen, Wednesday Addams. But unlike her previous on-screen appearances, the Addams daughter will be aged up quite a bit. According to early reports, Wednesday's storyline has a bit of a Nancy Drew vibe while she tries to solve a supernatural case from her parents' past. With a slight nod to Edgar Allan Poe, she attends Nevermore Academy. Jenna Ortega is already a scream queen, but playing Wednesday still proved a challenge. What typically makes Wednesday a fascinating and status quo-defying child is just that, she's a child. Most people expect young girls to be docile, frilly, and innocent when they've barely reached double digits. That stereotype has faced increasingly widespread challenges in recent years, but it still hasn't fully gone away, and that's precisely what makes Wednesday a fascinating character. So, with an aged-up Wednesday, how did Ortega and the Wednesday writers avoid making her a run-of-the-mill snarky teen? According to a conversation Ortega had with EW, that was one of the biggest challenges of taking on the role. Ortega explained to the outlet, "We've never seen her as a teenage girl. You know, it's funny and sweet and almost charming to hear this 8-year-old's obsession with murder and blood and guts. As she gets older, that nasty attitude or those biting remarks, it's almost kind of hard to not make it sound like every other teenage girl. It's tough to film such a long series about a sardonic and somewhat unemotional character, but Tim Burton knows what he's doing. Ortega praised Burton's attention to detail to EW, saying, "That has been really incredible, just being such a fan of his work prior, but also getting to know him and realizing he's the most detail-oriented director I'll ever work with." Though Ortega noted some of the challenges she had getting into character and keeping Wednesday fresh, Christina Ricci isn't worried about the younger star's performance. As it turns out, Addams' family values won't be the last time fans see Ricci in this kooky world. Her role in Wednesday has given her a front-row seat for Ortega's performance, and according to Ricci, she's living up to the hype. After applauding Tim Burton and Gwendolyn Christie's work on the show during a Variety interview, Ricci deemed Ortega's performance as Wednesday incredible. Ricci told the outlet, "I saw some of the wardrobe photos before I went to set, so I knew what she looked like in character, and I was like, it's such a great modern take on Wednesday. It's so true tonally to the heart and soul of the original, but it's also incredibly modern, and it's great." If Ricci is down with Ortega's take on the character, fans have gotten all the approval they need directly from a generation's favorite on-screen Wednesday.